Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be making a Bubu Kaftan dress with a V-neck. Thank you for watching. In making this dress, I used an Ankara material, taffeta material, a scissors, a chalk, a ruler and a curve. This gown I'm making is a short gown, so I'm using 2 yards of this material. So I started by folding my Ankara material into 2 folds. I folded the first one, then folded the second one. Then I place it neatly on the table. The length I used for this gown is 38 inches. So I checked if it's up to 38 inches, plus 2 inches for folding. That is, I used 40 inches in total. I'll be marking out the front and the back together, so I started by marking out the shoulder line. Then I used my ruler to draw a line. For the neck width, I took 3.5 inches. Then for the neck length, I took 1 inch. Then I used my curve to draw. This is the back neckline. You can use your free hand to draw a curve if you don't have a tailor's curve. For the front neck, I went down by 10 inches. You can also take 6 inches or 8 inches depending on how you want it to be. From the 10 inches marked, I went in by 1 inch. Then I used my ruler to draw. From that point, I connected it to the shoulder line. My shoulder is 16 inches, so I divided it into 2, which is 8 inches. Then I marked. The remaining length is 10 inches, which is the sleeve length. From the shoulder line, I went down by 1 inch, which is the shoulder slope. Then I used my ruler to mark. From the shoulder line, I went down by 18 inches, which is the waistline. From there, I went down to 25 inches, which is the hip line. I used my ruler to draw a horizontal line across. The measurement around my waist is 38 inches, so I divided 38 inches by 4, which gives me 9.5. Then I marked. I'm adding 3 inches for allowance because I'm going to sew a very free gown. So for my hip line, the measurement around my hip is 44 inches. So I divided 44 inches by 4, which gives me 11 inches. Then I marked, plus 3 inches for allowance. For the armhole, I went down by 10 inches because I want the arm to be very free. This line is called the chest line. So on this chest line, I'm marking out my bust measurement. The measurement around my bust is 40 inches. I divided 40 inches by 4, which gives me 10 inches, plus 3 for allowance. Then I use my ruler to join the points together. Now I'm marking out my full length, which is 38 inches, plus 2, which gives me 40 inches. Then I connect with my ruler. So for under the arm, I'm going to make a curve. This is to make the arm very easy to lift up. I use my scissors to cut out the side line. Hey guys, you can go down to my previous video on how I made my basic body pattern. Knowing your basic body pattern, you can cut any style of clothes you want to make. After cutting out the side line, I remove one part of the material. Then I arrange it back to cut out the front neckline. Now I place the front and the back together with the two right sides of the material facing each other. I will go down to my sewing machine and sew down the shoulder line together. After sewing down the shoulder line, I went ahead to measure the neckline with my tape. I started one side of the neck and went round with my tape. This measurement I'm taking is to know the length of the taffeta I am going to cut that I will attach to the neck. So I added extra 4 inches to the length of what I measured. The measurement round the neck is 31 inches plus extra 4 inches, which gives me 35 inches. For the width of the taffeta, I cut out 5 inches, which I folded. After folding and ironing, I got 2.5 inches. You can increase the width depending on how wide you want it to be. For the length of the taffeta, I cut out 35 inches. Now I turn up the material to the right side. Then I use my office pin to attach the taffeta to the neckline. I'm going round the neck just as I'm doing in the video. This is to make my work much easier when I'm sewing with my machine. Now I'll go to my sewing machine and sew it round. After sewing it round, this is what it looks like. At these two sides of the neckline, I'm going to use my scissors to give it a notch close to the seam line. I make sure not to pass through the seam line. Now I tuck in the extra taffeta into the neckline. Then I sew down the extra material to the neck, just like this in the video. I cut out a square which is 11 by 11 inches. Then I cut out at the side 3 by 3 inches. So I ironed in ½ inch round the side. This is to make sewing to the dress much easier. Now I place the material to the center of the dress. You can place the cut side to the left, right or down, depending on what you want. I will go to my sewing machine to sew round the square material. This is how it looks like after sewing the material. Now I will fold the sleeve into 2 and sew down. Then sew both sides of the dress and the hemline. So this is the result, a Bubu Kaftan dress with a V-shaped neck. Hey guys, please subscribe to my channel, Lily Fashion Apparel, for more videos. Thank you.